Good afternoon from 107.8 Black Diamond FM. Mark Mulgrew.
Oh, dreams can come true. And dreams have also came true for my guest on the telephone now. Good afternoon, Barbara Bryceland.
Hello there, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I know you're very, very busy.
Uh-huh.
And can I just let everybody in Midlothian and across Edinburgh and beyond on the internet know exactly who I'm talking to? Barbara Bryceland, also known as the lady from The Voice.
Yes, that's me.
That's you. And can I just say my own personal congratulations on your journey there in The Voice. I thought it was fantastic.
It was absolutely brilliant, and it's been fantastic ever since. It's been great.
Now, obviously, I mean, you had to hide a lot of things from people
Yes.
because some of it was pre-recorded. How difficult was that?
It was extremely difficult because I've always been a busy woman even before I've been on The Voice. But I've been very fortunate in the business, and so a lot of people were talking about The Voice and around about me, and I wasn't allowed to say there's no audition. So what I actually had to say to people was, no, I'm already out. I never made the auditions. I never got through. It was just easier to say that to get peace.
to get peace, and obviously to hide it. I mean, you know, because of the producers, never would be telling you, about this.
Well, no, you actually sign up to say that it's illegal for you to tell people, so you have to be careful. When you sign up for these shows, that's it. You're signed in from the very minute you audition in the first day.
Yeah. Now, they didn't go into the full thing about yourself on the show.
No, they never do. No.
So yeah, you're right. They never do. But you have been on the circuit around Scotland for a number of years, should I say?
I've been 24 years. I've worked in America, Canada, Belgium, really all over. I'm doing a lot in Ireland right now. But Scotland, very, very busy in Scotland for lots and lots of work there, for sure.
Brilliant
for years. Yeah.
So treading the boards in it and then doing the television stuff.
Uh-huh.
How did you find it being in the studio and doing that
it was very long days. It was because you'd be up and makeup and stuff at 8, 9 in the morning, and then you'd be there until probably 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Uh-huh.
So that was the recording side of it, and then the preparing for the recording was. My thing was I was doing my work already, which was run over December, January, where I'm really quite busy normally, and then I had to also run up and down to London for vocal coaching, for hair, for makeup, for choreography, also for lawyers' interviews. So there was loads of travelling. I was maybe up and down in London 2 and 3 times a week. I was exhausted.
I do know, because I was, as you well know, I was trying to get you on the show at the time, but you were just too busy going back and forth.
It was just so hectic, and it still is a wee bit hectic, yeah.
Now, I need to ask you, and I'm sure that everybody in the business has asked you, how was it working with the legend of Sir Tom Jones?
It was fantastic. The guy is great. You can see he's a wise old man. You could, he's not just a big legend. He knows the business inside out. He knows how you think and how to approach things. I think it was difficult for him because being a judge is the other side of things of being a performer.
Yeah.
And, everyone who's ever stood on a stage hates the feeling of being judged horrifically, you know what I mean? So I think he was very cautious as to how we were all feeling and how everyone, how it is, how tough it is to get up there in the first place. So I think there's a lot of respect for a lot of the contestants that were in there, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously knows, even from the early days, and then doing the big stadium stuff and everything. Yeah. He still suffers a bit from nerves and nervous energy. He's not
a confident speaker. he clams up a wee bit when the cameras were on. He told us that, you know what I mean? But his voice is just a thing, and his ability to perform is just wonderful. So that's his strong points there. So he was a great guy, just a great guy.
Now, the one thing that I would like to point out that I personally noticed from your time on the show is that you were very, especially on Facebook and stuff after that, you were very, very gracious about Leanne.
Yes.
After the big sing-off.
Yeah.
And it must have been difficult for two such powerful singers to be put up against each other in that round.
Well, what happened was because I was in for it and I knew I was through, I knew I had to start preparing for the battle, and I watched the American thing, and then the Americans did the same thing. They put two big female voices against each other, and it was turned out to be one of the highlights. at the battles in America.
Yeah.
And I figured that out. I thought this is going to be the one that they're going to try and make the highlight of the battles. And for some people, it was. A lot of people did. I said lovely things, and you know, that was the strongest battle, that was the most fun battle, and the audience participation in the studio. And as you know yourself, getting into a studio, you want that audience to react and get a true reaction, and by jings, we got it. I also, Leanne is a great girl, fantastic singer, 20 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm the type of woman who kind of says what's on my mind. And I did, if I honestly thought that I was far better than her, I would have said, I think you might have got it wrong. But I think they actually got it right. I think if I was Tom Jones, I would have picked Leanne.
Well,
I don't think, for different reasons, but I think she got better and better and better as the show went on, and I was rooting for her all the way. So, I think if we watch this space, she's going to bring out some great stuff this year.
I think it would be fair to say, Barbara, that she may have grown in confidence so much more after beating you in that big battle.
Well, I had a good go at her, I kind of did have a good... I said, Leanne, you need to really you need to step forward here, because this is it for you. Because I don't think she was fully aware of how brilliant her voice was. Mm-hmm. And I really did put her through the mill when I was up against her. I said, well, I'm not going to hold back. So when she seen me going for it, if you watch the thing over again, the first minute I was ruling the roost, but then she came back at me, and that's exactly what made it great television. And she was great. So I'm not just making it up, and I'm not just being gracious and all the rest of it. I really would have picked her as well. She's brilliant.
Well,
brilliant.
It's very nice of you to say that. Now, it has just the audition rounds have just been held. I know that some of them have been held in Glasgow.
Absolutely, yeah.
And regards the show, what made you just say, right, okay, I'm going to have a shot at that?
Well, I've been very, very blessed in my life, as far as I've had lots of people who've always come and put bums in seats and have come and seen me over and over and over again. As I've got a lot of great friends in the business. I've actually worked the gay scene for years, and a lot of the gay scene were hounding me to go in for this. So I had a good friend who was in the music business years and years ago, and he's now retired, and he really put me forward, and my other two friends, Duke and Martin. So they hounded me, they did the email thing, and they said, well, we've got your email, we're going to fill it in, we're going to do it, you're going to go for it. And I thought, I'll go just to keep peace and to go for it. But I didn't go thinking that I wouldn't get through, because I don't think you should ever go to an audition thinking I don't stand a chance, apart from if you're not really taking it seriously. So I'm kind of experienced enough to know how auditions go. Yeah. So I did go believing that I could get through the first couple of rounds anyway. So I don't mean that to be big-headed. It's just through years of experience of doing it and knowing how to work auditions.
Well, that's it. And
that's it. I also will say, and I've said this in interviews before, there must have been about 8,000 auditions in Glasgow, and I cannot believe that I was the only one that got through, because I heard brilliant singers in Scotland. Yep. And here's another thing. I was in Belfast working with Brian Kennedy just this weekend, and he was one of the judges on the show in Ireland, and only 1,000 people auditioned for the Irish show. And I thought, why could Scotland not do the same? Why can Scotland not do the same? Because I'm sure we would get a brilliant voice out of Scotland.
So the advice is to everybody, get yourself over to Ireland for the auditions over there, because there's less people. No, in fairness, I think the advice that you're giving there is to people, just go with it, be confident, and I
did find myself as being a bit of an advisor behind the scenes, even to all the other contestants. Maybe it was because I was probably the oldest contestant. I was maybe the second oldest contestant on the show who got through, and I think a lot of them would look up to me for my experience, and I would say, oh, do this and do that. So I was finding myself to be a bit of an advisor, and I was hanging out with Eva Burnett a wee bit more than the rest of them as well, because we kind of were there to help, you know what I mean? And it was suggested, why don't you come back next year and just work behind the scenes? And help with the vocal coaching and, getting them on there and, helping them.
Well, I was going to ask you, the next question was, what doors have opened since The Voice?
I've had I'm so grateful. I'm working with Camden Bar the next couple of weeks. I've just come back from working with Brian Kennedy. I'm going to do my own single in 2 weeks' time, and a good old diva dance track for all my gay fans, because they have been just tremendous. And I'm doing a lot of prides this year. I worked with Joe McKelvey, Lloyd Daniels, the Cheeky Girls. These are all things that, don't get me wrong, before that I did work with some big stars as well, but it's just been a wee bit more often this year, so it's been good. And then after 24, just like yourself, after all these years, it's not that we're not time served enough to get up there and earn our place up there to work with these fine people, so it's good. It's been great. I've had a ball.
Brilliant. Well, Barbara, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you, Mark.
And if people do want to follow you and find out more about you, how would they do
They would get
that?
me on BarbaraBryceland.com, or they would just get me on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever. As I say, I have a lot of shows that I'm going to be doing for next year. We're in the planning process for that, so quite a lot have sold out already this year. But we've got a lot going in the Bean Cross in Grangemouth for next year, Madness in Glasgow, 29 in Glasgow, all over the place. We're doing stuff, so just keep in touch. I think there's a few gay prides in there as well for next year, which I probably will be doing as well, so it's all good.
It's great to hear that you're still doing the stuff that you did before.
You know, Mark, I still love it. I still love it.
Do you still get that buzz?
Absolutely. And I go looking for the buzz. I don't wait for it to come to me. If I go in and it's a bad audience, I try and turn them around. I don't wait for them, and I don't throw a huff if they don't like me at first. I just keep at it, and I think that's probably why I win a lot of people over.
Brilliant stuff. Well, once again, Barbara, thank you very much. Stay on the line, and I'll hopefully catch up with you at some point shortly as well.
That would be great, Mark. Right. Take care, honey.
Thank you.
Bye.